This is a story about Nigeria's most infamous gangster of the 1980s. A man so bold he made crime look like his day job, because literally it was. This guy, let's call him the law. Not because he followed it, but because he broke it so thoroughly. He ran a gang that specialized in armed robbery, in carjackings, and smuggling. These guys didn't just rob banks, they hijacked vehicles, they attacked police stations, and made the entire southeastern Nigeria, especially Benin City,
Where's
their
the vault?
personal playground. If criminals had a hall of fame, the law would be its MVP. But he didn't start as a legend. Once upon a time, the law was just a driver working for other criminals. And then he thought, why be the driver when I can run the show? And so he did, forming a gang that terrorized travelers, robbed banks, and apparently anyone who didn't lock their doors. He had a trusted right-hand man. This man, let's call him Ally, the Clyde to his Bonnie. Together they put off daring heist, left police baffled, and occasionally dropped mocking notes at crime scenes like, better luck next time, boys. One of his infamous hits was a daytime bank heist where they made off with bags of money, tossing part of the loot into a market crowd. A policeman was reportedly unalived during the heist. And anytime policemen got too close to catching them, they simply ambushed them. In fact, they even went as far as attacking the convoy of a police commissioner and an inspector general of police. They regularly robbed travelers at bus terminals, snatching cash and jewelry and ambushing responding police officers. There was also a time he allegedly snatched a car from the driver of an assistant police inspector general of police. And during the incident, the driver was reportedly unalived, and his skeleton would be discovered 3 months later, 16 kilometers from Benin. It's worth noting that the law didn't have any formal education, but was smart and witty to defy all security measures put in place. Benin City was paralyzed, nightlife was gone, streets were deserted, people locked their doors tighter than a bank vault, businesses shut early, and fear turned the once vibrant city into a ghost town. So why was he so hard to catch? Of course, corrupt cops. The law reportedly paid bribes to officers who tipped him off about police movements. This didn't just frustrate the public, who were eager for the gang to be caught, but it turned him into a legend, an untouchable criminal mastermind. The precise amount of money he stole is not readily available in public records, but in just one of his bank heists, he allegedly stole about $2,000 at the time, which in today's money, I guess, would be around $7,000 to $8,000, which is a lot of money, which was a lot of money at the time. The law and his gang were responsible for unaliving about 20 people, 11 police officers, and 9 civilians during his 4-month rampage between August and December 1986. The local media couldn't get enough of this guy and his gang. Headlines blared about the law challenge, the law saga, the law factor. The guy even wrote letters to newspapers portraying himself as a modern-day Robin Hood. Spoiler alert, guys, Robin Hood didn't leave a trail of dead bodies behind. He was nicknamed the Outlaw King of Benin by the media. Even the president of Nigeria at the time, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, took notice of the law's activities. He was quoted to have asked the then Inspector General of Police, and I quote, "Where is the law?" unquote. But even legends fall. The government was done playing games. Enter Operation Frivolity, a task force with one mission: take down the law. Eventually, on December 3, 1986, a 10-man team of policemen got their break. A tip-off led them to a house in Benin City where they captured the law in dramatic showdown. He was said to have been the one who answered the door when the police knocked, dressed in his underwear, and he tried walking past the police, but bam, the police shot his leg during the arrest, and then when he tried to run, he was shot multiple times on the same leg, ending his ability to run literally and figuratively. His gang, including his loyal ally, were also rounded up, and they spilled the beans on everything, their crimes, their corrupt police bodies. And by 1987, the law and his crew faced a military tribunal, and on March 29, they were sentenced to be unalived. The law was said to have blamed most of his unaliving on his right-hand man, ally, who I mentioned earlier. He was quoted to have said, and I quote, "I only threaten people for money. I don't unalive people. It is ally that unalives. I always beg my gang not to unalive people," and I unquote. Of course, even this guy, or even though the guy was a notoriously bad man, the media apparently didn't like the manner he was captured, mostly for humanitarian reasons, calling his arrest brutal and unfortunate. Their unaliving was a public spectacle, marking the end of the law's reign of terror. And just like that, a man who once ruled the streets with fear became a cautionary tale. So, what's the lesson here? Crime doesn't pay, but it does make for one heck of a story. So, guys, are you able to tell who this story portrayed? If you think you know, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.